a video of me just letting the internet know that I, Mary Ang, do completely denounce Ozark, Iraq, harassing his clientele at the Homeless Day Center in Astoria, Oregon, by calling them the rats or rat pack or whatever dehumanizing metaphor he is using to intimidate them for his suspicion that they have whistleblown him for his sexual innuendo regarding his crude and vulgar and inappropriate propositioning of homeless women to suck his blue balls when he's delivering them chocolate in blue wrappers, as if that's a funny joke. Numerous homeless people told me he was doing this, and I don't know how far his bullying and intimidation has gone in terms of all the many witnesses of his inappropriate or bullying conduct towards the homeless, but I was horrified to hear that he is bullying a woman who is also a victim of violent crime, whose family member has been a victim of violent crime from LiFEBoat perpetrators, by being called a rat by the felon who had a gun in his backpack, which District Attorney Ron Brown signed the warrant for the ballistics test for the gun that Ozark, Iraq was concealing from the officers at the Astoria Police Department. And for some reason, the county is so forgiving and so tolerant that they have poured federal money into this organization, despite numerous outcries from recipients of the aid who are reporting bullying, aggression, rudeness. I went so far as to film him being extremely rude and disturbingly abusive to a domestic violence worker and I on a conference call to fulfill a clothing voucher for which I'm being prosecuted. I have a pretty good understanding they're going to drop the case because it's very frivolous. And it was absolutely protected speech, according to Project Veritas's lawyer. It was absolutely also within the current 165.540 at that time, understanding that a one-party recording could take place if one person is party to a phone call. The Veritas attorney, just like I do, assumes that I do have consent to be a party of the phone call when the person puts it on speakerphone. But furthermore, I signed a waiver giving her consent to make the call on my behalf. And we are essentially one team calling in unison. And I popped the recording because his abusiveness needed to be on record. He called me predatory. He said that he was retaliating against me for making legitimate reports. So he admits to whistleblower retaliation. Then he also threatens false charges on me, which is an intimidation tactic he's been trying to pull since February 2022 to intimidate me with threats of false charges. He also references Kirk Wintermute, who I think needs to resign from LiFEBoat, because I don't think Kirk Wintermute needs to disgrace the judiciary any further with affiliations with intimidating, vulgar, former meth dealers who carry guns in their backpack and repeatedly sexually harass and intimidate women. So it's a good time for Kirk Wintermute to back out of any kind of retaliation he might be doing. And then the Bureau of Labor and Industries report, I'm hoping will come out soon. I was told they have enough information. Don't just, because the reports keep coming in that he continues to abuse even though he's under investigation. And his retaliation case against me doesn't actually make him look better. Maybe he thinks it does, but it actually, I've used it as an opportunity to put numerous things on record regarding his abuse that are very deeply concerning, that would have to come out in trial should it ever go to trial, which it's clear the district attorney is absolutely bluffing and never wants it to go to trial. And whether or not the district attorney knew what a can of worms it was, to me, I would say, well, due diligence. You need to pay attention to what's going on in your county. And the district attorney has been somewhat disingenuous in not providing the exculpatory information that would be my due. So I'm thinking a lot about, even though it looks like the case is winding down, just putting some basically discovery request in regarding exculpatory information, regarding a motive to retaliate, etc. Just for the record, not that anybody really cares about such a petty little case other than I, but I think the board of directors of LiFEBoat needs to get this type of abuse under control. When women are called a rat, it by men who are violent and abusive and sexually harassing of women, it is an intimidation tactic to get them to stop collaborating with authorities or with advocates or people they trust, and stop pursuing any kind of justice or relief from abuse. And that bullying he is doing on victims of assault and verbal abuse and deranged, crazy attacks. You hear about these homeless men get very, very violent with these women. They don't need to go to the day center and get bullied some more. But to me, it also indicates there's some kind of mental state going on where, I mean, why on earth would you do that? It is so deeply unprofessional. I don't believe it can be fixed. I think he needs to resign and go get some help. He needs to go find some work where he can't hurt vulnerable people. And why is Clatsop County allowing this? Many people say, for instance, the Episcopalian minister lady, it's like, but they hate the homeless. This county hates the homeless, so they don't care if he abuses them. And I challenge the county to do better and to have more compassion and more heart and not throw these women to the wolves. Thank you.